This is Record Royale, where we throw two albums into the ring with one another and see which one comes out on top. Now, I don't know if you saw it. Brad, you would have been the only one to maybe see it, but guess what? This evening, I cooked a nice couple of fillets of salmon on the barbie.
Whoa.
I'll tell you what.
Bit of salmon on the barbie.
Will St. Clair.
I felt like an absolute man out there. Put that lid down. Toast those buns.
Put that lid down.
Put that lid down. On the grill. Anyone? Boys, you've seen that video?
It was
Gordon Ramsay perfect burger.
Gordon Ramsay
you know the one.
reference.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay perfect burger tutorial.
Get that
We've been
lid
watching.
down.
We've
Yes.
been watching heaps of Kitchen Nightmares and
We watch
Yeah.
so much of that bullshit.
You got to watch the OG vid is the perfect burger video,
Yeah.
and he
Perfect
really
burger tutorial.
he's
Is it
so
is it
intense.
is it the Australian owner and he's got the shitty fucking?
No, it's just I think it's just a Gordon Ramsay like YouTube video.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if it's
yeah.
part of any show.
Okay.
Onions,
No,
No, I think it's
caramelized,
just one video. I don't know.
Gordon Ramsay has so
Mm.
many
patty
vids.
on, salt and pepper.
Toast those buns.
That Raj compilation, that
Popping
dude from
hot grill.
Kitchen Nightmares.
Oh,
is
have you
like,
guys seen the Raj compilation?
I tried
No,
what
what's
I
that?
did my best, but Chef didn't like it.
I haven't seen that. Oh, I probably have
Yes.
actually.
What
I've
about
Seen
the
them all. Yeah.
What about the we cook spaghetti to order?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Even my 97-year-old grandmother cooks spaghetti 7 minutes before she eats it. You donkey.
My favorite part about it is that he ashamedly cooks the spaghetti twice after he's been told not to.
He does. He's just in the corner like, I can't fucking stop. It's like My Strange Addiction style.
I love the have you seen the compilation of just like Gordon Ramsay telling people that they're actually really good? And he just like goes through, he makes them think that he's going to say the worst thing ever.
Oh,
He always
no.
he's like, I came here expecting a lot. And I came here and I was so disappointed. But actually it was really good. Like he just keeps changing every
fuck.
time. It's a great
like
compilation.
That's not what I seek, though. I seek the worst fucking takedowns possible.
Yeah.
And just relentless. just
When they shut down the
You're-
whole venue because
you
there's
were,
like
you
chicken
were
in
really
the-
surprising
yeah.
tonight. Oh, thank you, chef. Surprisingly shit.
Yeah. Stuff like
I
that.
was surprised
So
by how
good.
shit you were.
I love how they say chef. It's like, thank you, chef.
Yeah.
Thank you, chef. Just
I love
the
these
most
Yes, chef.
awful
Yes, chef.
shit said at you, and just yes, chef. Thank you, chef.
I love it when
Fucking moron. Thank you, chef.
I love it when people say the wrong thing to him. Like they'll say, "Can you please do this?" And then he'll say, "Can you please do this, chef?" And he like corrects them. You're not actually the chef of their restaurant. you've just like walked in one day and been like, "I am the boss."
I am the
Audacity.
captain now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Brilliant
There it
Gordon
is.
Ramsay chat. All right, we're here. We're episode 22. We're here with Lewis and Brendan, the absolute two legends. We've known you two boys for a while now, actually.
Very
long
And
time.
it's bloody great to have you on the podcast.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming on.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you so much for getting us on, man. Very, very.
Oh, it was only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. And you two say you're actual podcast listeners, so that's an even bigger bonus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's cool.
Great concept. It's really, really tight.
What Lewis said.
Thank you.
There might be a bit of that tonight.
Well, there is five of us. So there could be a bit of over talking. I actually have noticed that I've been like talking over people a lot, but that's because the shitty little Apple earphones from like 2009 I use. I thought they were broken, but I've realized that if I just pull them out of the interface just a touch,
Ooh.
I can now hear everyone like really well.
Get that lid down.
So get that lid down.
Oh, you gotta find that sweet spot.
season.
You got it.
Just a touch. Yeah, but cool. Yeah, I can actually hear you guys now, so that's pretty good. And we got two very fun freaking albums. I had a lot of a good time listening to these two this week.
Yeah,
We got
thank
Idols, Joys, Active Resistance, and Viagra Boys, Street Worms. First off with Viagra Boys, who and how long have you been listening to them for? Was this Brendo's?
Oh,
Well, Lewis,
You go.
just for the record, Lewis showed me both of these two bands. I think Lewis showed me like Idols first, and then I was like, man, this band's really good. And then he was like, well, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, and then he showed me Viagra Boys. So, but that was probably 2018, maybe 17, possibly.
I think it was 17. So I started listening to Idols. I randomly like chanced upon the Mother video on YouTube. It just came in my recommended. I think just before Brutalism came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I came across it and then just like lost my fucking mind. I was like, this is so goddamn good. Like the music and especially the lyrics and the vocals. And then I just like, they had a heap of singles out. They were doing like random videos for most of the songs on that album just before it came out. And just started checking all of that, then live music, like live shows and shit. Back when Joe had pink hair and I was tight.
Yeah.
And and then just listened to Brutalism religiously and was just like just going around to Brendo and all the homies and being like, yo, listen to this goddamn band, it's sick.
Lots of trips to Sydney and back playing these albums in the car. Lots of trips.
Yeah, they got a thrashing. Viagra Boys.
I was gonna say,
Viagra Boys is a weird one.
I was gonna say
that I came across. Yeah,
that trip down to watch Idols together
beautiful.
was the first time I heard Viagra Boys as well.
Yeah.
You guys showed me that back then.
And that was a similar thing. And we were like,
thinking it was the.
Sorry, you go.
No, sorry, I was gonna say, I remember thinking it was the funniest, best thing, and then when you guys showed me Paul Blart and the Blart Blarts, eventually later, I was like, whoa. That's where that is.
It's Viagra Boys worship. That's all it is.
Yeah, as you can believe, it's just totally, completely Viagra Boys and Idols worship. All that stuff.
It came out of because I got Brendo on the Viagra Boys, and then we were like listening to it, just loving it, listening to Streetworms together. And then Brendo was like, we need to try and jam some of these songs.
That's
so
right.
like Brendo's playing, so we were playing like a few tracks off the Streetworms album where Brendo was on guitar and I was on drums and I had a mic, and we were just playing like Slow Learner, Shrimp Shack, and all these songs, just fucking around at our old place.
But I couldn't play the songs quite right though, so
and I couldn't quite sing it on drums. I'm not that talented. And then we're like, let's just make this a fucking band.
A new band.
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What's next for Paul Blart and the Blart Blarts? Is it disbanded?
Double album.
Well,
no, absolutely not. I never let that come to its end.
Paul Blart's immortal, man.
Now that the Queen is dead.
Yeah, the Queen is dead. R.I.P. But that doesn't mean the Paul Blart and the Blart Blarts have to go. We've actually wrote a track called does it have a name? We just call it the Coronas.
We just call it Corona Song. This was before coronavirus.
Corona Song. Yeah. And we
So it's actually about Corona.
yeah, and we've been sitting on a Corona song for months.
The song's about going to a pub and saying, I don't really want any of these beers. I just want a Corona with a lemon and lime, Yeah. And that was the song, and then coronavirus happened, and we're like, we need to record and release this song. And I was like, how do we record this song as it purely is and not tweak it to like have some relevancy to the situation? And then I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's a little inappropriate to be kind of laughing. I don't know at this.
Well, we also kind of
had a beer-based song.
We also semi-wrote a song about being in isolation too, with the board games track.
Yeah, we did.
And that was months
really
ago.
has some correlations with like fucking.
I don't know what's going on.
Shit.
Well, current affairs.
Wrote a song called Board Games, but BORED games, because it's the power goes out. Where you live and the power goes out, so you go to that goddamn cupboard full of them games, and then you're just ripping through these classic, beautiful board games.
Twist.
Don't want to give too much away. We'll release it in 2025.
That's a good idea.
I should just probably say, for people who have no idea what we're talking about,
Oh, yeah.
Paul Blart and the Blart Blarts is actually a band that Lewis and Brendo play in.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, maybe one of the best band names to come out of Australia in the past 5 years.
Bless you.
Easy.
Best band picture I've seen as well was you guys in the rear view camera of the car.
That was so hard to do. I nearly
I
killed
thought that
the
was
boys.
genius.
I nearly killed the boys doing that.
Yeah, because
Because the camera
so
only
good.
works when the engine is on. So I was setting
Yeah,
up the tripod and camera to go on that rear view camera in the Volkswagen. And I had to have like the actual engine on. So the boys and I'm setting it up and tweaking, and they're all screaming at me, being like, "Take the photo," because they're all breathing in the fumes coming from the fucking
Oh my
exhaust pipe. Anyway, we got the shot.
That's an unreal photo.
All about shot.
Cheers.
We'll have to share that.
Wow.
Hey, I was going to ask you one thing about Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
I know you guys haven't done much this year. I mean, neither have we. Neither has really anyone.
Neither have we.
But
It's
I noticed
something.
that the video for It's All Gravy came out like a year ago, nearly, almost. You won the Unearth comp, hey, to film that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Is that what that was
Yeah,
for?
we did.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Triple
the-
That was
J.
the only.
Night
Because I've
comp.
like never spoke to you about that. How was that process? Were you there when they filmed it and shit? Oh, were you guys in the video, or was it just Sam?
Oh, we're in it just at the end.
So it was a 3-day.
yeah.
It was a 3-day shoot at the Nida Studios in Sydney, and we were invited to come for all the 3 days. But Lewis and I just came for the second and third day, because the first 2 days was just Sam's parts shooting his bits. But it was so cool to see how they just like designed the set. They had like 2 sets in the same room happening back to back.
It's
And,
crazy. Yeah.
And and we were just like standing in the corner just watching, and then they're working so hard, and then they're still like, "Oh, can I get you a chair? Please, let me get you a chair." And I'm like, "No, I can get my own chair." And then they go, "No, don't you dare!"
kings.
And they like
Jeez.
shove me against
You
the
want a
wall.
coffee? And it's like, I don't
yeah.
deserve it. I don't deserve it. Stop it. I'm
Yeah.
not doing it. But we're literally sitting watching like Sam get filmed with a set behind him, like elaborate set as well. Like
Yeah.
him in the bathroom, I think was the first thing we saw,
Yeah, it looks so cool.
which is so sick. And then literally behind us, there's like a whole team just working on like painting the background for the next set that they're going to shoot in like an hour. They're still painting it and getting it all assorted. There were so many people that worked on it. All of them were fantastic as well. Shout out
Yeah.
to the Nida crew. They were
Yeah.
so tight.
crazy.
It came out so sick.
It was really cool.
Freaking the alien.
Did you guys
aliens?
have like seats with your name on them?
Oh, a little bit.
Director's chair.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, we sat.
What?
No, just wait. Let me just relive this special moment, because the premiere for that night was like, they gave us the treatment. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were like one of the only local bands of that thing. So all the other artists who were part of it were like so far away that they weren't even able to make the premiere. So it was kind of just us and a few other artists
Couple
there.
other ones.
Whoa.
Yeah,
But,
Charbel. Shout out to Charbel.
Yeah, shout out. Really good,
guy
really nice
does-
guy too.
Yeah, such amazing like soul R&B music. His video was tight. River of Neglect. Charbel.
Yeah.
Hit it
Okay.
up.
That was
It's
cool.
so
We had
tight.
drinks. We had drinks with them after as well. But like they would play the film clip, and then because we were the only like few people there, and we got to mention they're like, and they're sitting in the audience tonight, and then like everyone turned around and was just like, "Oh my god, it's them in the it's them in the flesh." And then
Who was the audience? What was this? Who was?
That's amazing.
dude, it was
Who
just
was there?
it was just the other Nida students.
Oh,
So
true.
it
Okay.
was
It was mainly students,
right.
like people that worked on the other videos, like everyone
true.
kind of came. And then a few
And then-
Yeah, that's
parents
cool.
of the night
Yeah,
students.
few of their parents who were like happy to watch their
Whoa.
Oh my
their
god,
kids grow.
A-list shit.
that's really sick.
That is sick.
Well
No,
played.
That sounds like really like cool experience.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
Yeah,
good.
it was a lot of fun.
Do you
I
guys
remember-
have any Blue Velvet / Paul Blart and the Blart Blart plans coming up?
Oh, it's so hard to just plan things at the moment, you know.
Yeah.
So
it is, yeah.
it's really
Louis is just kind of like holidaying at the moment, chill.
yeah. I've been writing
Yeah.
I've been writing a lot of pop music to like kind
Has
of
been.
get my mind away from not being able to do all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
it's been fun
Yeah.
doing something new, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
Nice.
And then I've been working heaps with Presco. That's been fun. Presco.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
your other
nice.
band, yeah.
Yeah. So we're about to
Awesome.
record in a couple of weeks. So
Sick.
Hectic.
Beautiful.
Who are you
Trying to
recording with?
our vocalist, we usually record with Brendo, may I say, Brendan, and he kills it.
Hey.
But we're changing it up. We're going with our vocalist's father in his studio in Kiama. We want to get a bit rural with it, a bit weird with it.
Whoa.
Sounds fun.
It'll be cool.
See
He's
what happens
good.
there.
He seems like he's got really cool gear and stuff. I reckon that'll
Yeah, he
be
has
some
some
fun.
very interesting gear, so keen
Yeah.
to see how that all goes. That'll
Nice.
Plus,
Hectic.
like recording with a father-son dynamic would be cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That was a good
I
take,
feel like
son.
that has to be a country record. Father
Hey,
and son.
Or like
We'll see what comes
like Cat
out.
Stevens. Like Cat Stevens' father and son.
Yeah.
Well, I went to
Over and over again.
Kayama and I saw a goanna.
There it is.
Yeah,
The next single. All right, we should get into these albums, I think.
we should.
Yeah, I'm going to smash through the little facts of these ones. Probably not going to read out the Viagra boys' names because they're all Swedish. All right.
Yeah.
Idols But from Bristol, UK, formed in 2009. 5 members. We got Joe, Adam, Mark, John, Lee. I'm not going to bother naming their last names either. The second album, their second studio album, Joy is an Act of Resistance, released on the 31st of August 2018 by Partisan Records? Partisan Records? Yeah, I think they're like a pretty not that big label, but must be pretty cool because they got idols on them. It's produced by a guy, his music name is called Space. His real name is Paul Fraser. He did Brutalism, and he worked with The Prodigy as well, which was pretty cool.
Cool.
Didn't know that.
That's sick.
That's cool.
Yeah. No one else that he's worked with I really wrote down because I thought, didn't know who they were.
Not important.
5 singles off this one: Colossus, Danny Nedelko, Samaritans, Great, Never Fight a Man with a Perm was the last single. The album peaked at 4 in the UK and 4 on the US Heat Seekers charts, which is like the kind of new artist charts, I think.
Cool.
It was NME's 3rd best album of 2018, Kerrang's 9th best album of 2019, and Rolling Stone's 15th best metal album of 2018.
Okay.
True.
What?
Yeah.
I think they're a
I
little
don't
bit
know.
confused, but their heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fuck. We can't get to 20. We'll just chuck Idols in there at 15.
Idols.
Just why not?
So
Why not?
The biggest metal band to
absurd.
come out of the UK. And it was nominated for the
Since
2019 Mercury Prize. But, trivia, who did it lose to?
Slow tie?
No.
2018.
No, it lost to Dave.
Dave, correct.
Yeah.
Like a
God,
drama.
well played.
Nice. Easy
Good
trivia
album.
one. All right,
It's a good
Viagra
album.
Boys, I have very minimal notes on this. They're from Stockholm in Sweden. Only formed in 2015. I can read their first names. I can read their names out. I'll give it a crack. Sebastian Murphy, Benjamin Valle, Oscar Karls, Henrik Hockett, and Tor Sjödén.
Nailed
Sjödén.
it.
Oh, there's so many letters with the dots above them. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Streetworms was their debut album, released on September 28th, 2018 as well, by Swedish label Year 0001. Very
True.
cool. It was produced by Pelle Gunnerfelt and Daniel Fagerstrom. Shout out to all our Swedish listeners. And
Yeah.
I think there's only 2 singles, Sports and Just Like You.
Yeah.
True.
That is all I got. That was easy, wasn't it? Good Swedish names. Let's get into
Yeah,
Swedish
beautiful.
boys.
elements. All right. Should we talk about the Idols lyrics first? Because they're like
Yeah.
insanely
absolutely.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Joe Talbot is an absolute fucking just his passion and directness is, I don't know, I feel pretty unmatched.
Mm.
An honesty.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
honest, I think.
absolutely.
Sure.
Doesn't there's not a single line that you're just like, oh, that was kind of corny, or you're just like, you're just kind of putting that in to fit the syllables. Like every single word kind of seems like it needs
Has
to be
weight.
there, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
I reckon I felt
It's-
inspired from listening to this album this week, I'd say. I reckon I
Yeah.
woke up like half an hour early than usual.
I love that.
Listen-
Yeah, that's so good.
Shit.
Yeah.
8 o'clock, let's go. Like, rather
And-
than like,
And then, like
8:30
the
or
way
9.
the way he says all these
Yeah.
lyrics, you've got to. He forces you to listen to him, doesn't he? He
Absolutely.
really rams them down your throat.
Absolutely.
They're at the
Like speaking
forefront,
of
yeah.
songs on this album, like even Love Song, where it's like a really
Oh.
beautiful and like just heartfelt, and like him pouring out his absolute admiration for his partner is so like aggressive and really just
The second verse.
I love
it's like-
that concept. Like make
It's
it
almost
really
like funny in a way he present how he execute. The second verse is
yeah.
I'm just gonna read it, but he's like,
Do it,
I
yeah.
fucking love you. I really love you. Look
Yeah.
at the card I bought. It says I love you.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So,
Yeah.
and the way he
Like,
says it, it's so.
I carried a watermelon.
infectious.
I want to feel vulnerable. You
Yeah.
know, like it's just. he's always snarky. Oh, not always snarky, but he's always got like just very odd and kind of, I don't know,
got the
slightly
edge.
just offbeat. And there's an offbeat humor to everything he kind of says. It's like I don't know, just a way of, I don't know, overwhelming your listener in a way, but it's all direct and has meaning to it.
It's just
I remember
so relatable. Well, not relatable, but what you say, like infectious, and like you listen, you're like, damn.
And there's
He's right.
There's definitely a lot of themes in a few of the songs which you just like can't ignore, and you're just leaves you thinking about, like, for example, your own dad and things like that, and your own life and who you are, and you're like, oh shit. So and like
they don't
they
don't take any like easy subjects.
No,
I don't think.
Yeah. Well, I guess the subject matter for a lot of the songs is quite serious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like nationalism, immigration, like inequality, even as well. But the whole thing's still like visceral.
Yeah.
Visceral.
Cathartic.
That's a word that I found out this week, and I was like, that sums us up.
Yeah, for it.
It's just
I remember
so
the
good.
first time I heard June, I cried.
Yeah.
Like, I fully cried listening to June. Because I read, before I actually watched it, there was some video, it was like an interview with them. Like, I saw a live video of them, then watched an interview after, and they talked about like what it's about and stuff. And the first time I listened through, I was like, oh my God, this is like the most heartbreaking lyrics I've ever heard, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very
Super heavy.
yeah.
Do you remember when Lewis? I think we were at the Hamo this one time when I think the Samaritans came out, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we all went home, listened to it, fucking cried.
Yeah, well, the next day I think we spoke about it. We all went back like individually, but I will always remember like, I think we got really drunk at the Hamo, and
Classic.
we're all like, classic Hamo
Impossible not
styles,
to.
you know. Yeah, shout outs Hamilton Hotels.
Yeah.
You know.
Do they still do $5 spirits?
Probably.
There's a few.
Yes,
There's a couple.
I think so.
Yeah,
$5
they do.
mixes?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But I'll always remember like I walked home back to my place in Mayfield at that point, and then checked the laptop, and it was just like newest single from Idols, and I was like, I was like all really like in, I don't know, high spirited, you know, just drunk. And it was like, let's listen to new Idols and fucking party down. And that song, like, put it on. I listened to it probably, not an exaggeration, like 20, 30 times in a row, and just absolutely wept. It really, really struck a chord. It was just like, so
absolutely.
beautifully spoken, and just so much of it was just so relevant. You know, just this hyper masculinity, and it was just the first time someone, like, I think kind of in a punk vocalist saying like, be vulnerable, it's okay to cry, you know, all of this is like, you know, there's no need to bottle all these emotions.
for sure.
You know, I think it's something that I think men do quite a bit. And, you know, even though I've always kind of seen myself and a lot of friends as well, I think, you know, all kind of, it's all relative here. Or quite sensitive or whatever, you know, like, I think hearing that from a figure like that is definitely quite powerful in a way, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
it
totally.
is. It is so powerful.
Really
it's so,
is.
it's just because it's the first time I've actually listened to this album in full. The first listen, I was like, man,
wow.
this album is important. Like,
It is.
you can just
100%.
tell.
100%.
You need this album. Should we take a complete 180 and go over to the Viagra Boys lyrics? Wiener dog.
So
let's
can I
get
just-
so funny.
Oh man, there's so many lyrics and lines in that whole album which just like give me so much joy. You know,
So much.
joy.
So much. Just
They haven't
all
abs-
of Best in Show.
Well,
Like,
well,
Best in
Best in
Show
Show.
is
Best
so
in
funny.
Show.
What, like,
I like laughed out loud when I heard that. I was like,
do you reckon
what?
they would just?
What is
Do you reckon
this?
they just hit record and were like, just talk shit for a minute and a
I
half?
heard they did. It's
I
like,
hope he's.
it-
I think he
Nah.
might be telling stories about his life. Fingers crossed. I hope that's the case.
Yeah,
you know?
I think so.
It's like fucking Captain Beefheart meets Muddy Boosh. It's so
Muddy
off
Boosh.
the
Yeah,
fucking
for
wall.
sure.
It's just ridiculous.
So what's that one lyric? And he's like, he had a little dog. Such a little dog.
But it reminded me of a large dog. Just a miniature size. That's such a good line.
What?
Insane.
The music is like so perfect to go with the ridiculousness
Those stories.
of the lyrics as well.
Yeah.
Just the bass and drums. They just don't stop.
I totally agree. It's the bass
just
drives
holding
it.
it.
And the
Yeah.
saxophone.
The drums
Yeah.
hold it down so you
The
can
sax.
dance to
All
it.
the extras, I think.
So nice.
All the extra bits and pieces. Yeah. There's so much like atmosphere in the back of the mix as well.
Oh yeah,
Which
like
is so sick.
how weird of a band to have sax and like that synth player where he's play. Swear
Yeah.
it's some parts
Yeah.
sound like a theremin or something weird like that. Hey, but it's not actually. But
Yeah, you kind of forget that they're in the... Sometimes they don't play for ages. And then they'll just appear and just go ballistic for like one verse and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Which is sick.
So perfect. There's so much interesting like sound effects all throughout the album as well, though. Like
Yeah.
just weird little bits.
sure.
Like
Sounds like space. Like at
Yeah.
some points.
very spacey.
yeah, there's just like even in like what is it, Slow Learner, and there's like
Yeah.
it's almost like a 90s like rough and tough like Repo Man type movie, and it's just like the you know ding ding, like it's like so industrial. It's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sure, why not? Yeah,
There are a lot of electronic drums that get included here and there are heaps sick as well, I think.
totally.
Adds to
Well,
it.
Yeah, part of the reason I really like this album is because the drums are just so dancey, and they kind of
Yeah.
include
They're
some
like
of those,
disco
yeah.
drums.
Totally. It's like a dance album. It's like a fucked up dance album. It's like your
Yeah.
uncle got too drunk at a family event and he's just like
Yeah.
on the dance floor being
Yeah.
inappropriate, and you're like, okay. All right, and this is what's playing in the background. It's like, okay, you do you, brother.
I back that analogy so hard.
Yeah.
Drunk dad. Hell yeah.
It's so funny, but it's pretty like dark in places as well.
Worms
Like
is
Worms.
so...
Yeah,
Worms
Worms
is-
is
yeah.
kind of dark.
Sends shivers up my spine, that track.
Yeah. It's cool him
darkest-
showing that versatility vocally as well.
Yeah, he like properly really sings on that track. Not that he doesn't sing on everything else, but it's definitely
He doesn't
like,
really.
kind of more of a character
It
on
is
everything else.
very...
Yeah.
There's a lot of character. I think both
Yeah.
vocalists share that. There's a lot of like
For sure.
character and
Yeah.
a lot of personality in their vocals.
I was saying to Brad the other day, we were talking about Idols, and I don't know if you guys have seen any of their stuff from when they were like before Idols was Idols. I don't know if they were still called Idols, but they were like an indie band,
Really?
and they were just kind of like an indie pop band
I don't
because
actually
they're
know.
like
Yeah.
they're like 30 years old, but they've been a band
Yeah,
for
they're
like,
like mid-30s.
But what like
yeah, mid-30s. They
same members?
same members, yeah, but they were just way younger.
Oh, crazy.
And Joe like properly sings. Like there's no real growl, which is weird to hear because obviously it's like, which is cool, I think, because it means that it's very intentional that he was like, okay, I'm gonna use this
Yeah.
sort of character-ish voice now.
That's cool. Was that
Which is sick.
Was that under a different name, or was that the
I think
demo
I
or
can't
anything,
remember.
or-
I'm in this weird Facebook group, like a Idols fan group
Yeah,
called AF Love.
yeah.
and
yeah,
yeah.
people-
I'm in that shit too, brother. Don't you worry
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. I've just seen the videos posted a few times. People
That's cool.
will find them.
Oh.
I'm sure it's not hard to find.
Yeah,
but
definitely be getting on that after this. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's sick.
Awesome.
Anyway, there you go.
I reckon when you were
Anyone-
speaking about his singing, yeah, I like it when he really starts to sing in say like in Great in the chorus. Great
Oh,
and
so
and Danny
Yeah, Danny
Nicolido?
Nadelko.
Nadelko, baby.
Okay.
Nadelka, that's it, sorry. Yeah. I found I had a new favorite song every time I listened to it. Even though I'm like
It's hard
kinda
to pick
familiar
one.
with it. You can't
It is a hard one.
It's so hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah,
is
I
always
feel that. Yeah,
it's always mean that you got a good album on your hands, I think.
100%. I was obsessed with this album for like forever, and it's actually been a while since I've sat down and listened to it incomplete, because a complete listen kind of since you know, it was like, oh, we're going to do this album, and I was like, yeah, I'll sit down a few times and just listen to it as a whole, and yeah, it kept being like, oh yeah, this is like Colossus starts and it's like, that's the best opener to a fucking album. Are you kidding me?
Oh my god.
crazy.
So
And
stupid.
then, but it keeps ripping, and you're just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They're all pretty well fucking there.
And listening back,
Yeah,
listening back as well, it's like each song that comes on, you're like, yeah, I remember when this was my favorite song, and I used to listen to this track for like a couple of weeks at a time, and then it was like the track afterward became my favorite track, and so on. And
yeah.
there was just a bit phases of being obsessed with each track in its own time, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely no skips. That's for sure.
No.
No skips.
No skips, no shuffles.
Wait,
No,
hot,
no.
hot, hot,
No
hot
dancing.
take. Hot take. Graham Rock. Sometimes I skip.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Look,
but it's still
you
good.
know.
But
Fair?
But it
I don't
doesn't.
know.
Feel, sorry, but it doesn't feel good.
A guilty skip.
it's just not as good as the other songs,
Yeah.
probably.
It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know
They
what
can't
what
all
is
be
about
winners.
It's I think it's the chorus. The chorus just kind of is
Right.
a little. I don't know. It's like okay, I get it. It's just like it's just the whole band going yeah, and I'm like okay, yeah, cool. Everything else is tight, but it just gets a little I don't know, a bit monotonous.
That's true.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
all. That's my hot take for the night.
When you saw Idols live, what did they open with? What, Colossus?
Colossus.
Colossus,
Yeah, pretty sure.
and it was phenomenal.
I'm glad you two. I'm glad you two guys were there because I don't remember the set list at all.
yeah.
Well, funnily
It
enough,
gets fuzzy after that.
I'll live through this experience through you guys.
Did they go Colossus into Never Fight a Man with a Perm?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't. I think they played an older track.
That is
Yeah.
like one of the best 1-2 punches at the
Yeah.
start of an out. That's
it's not.
I mentioned it last week. The cricket analogy.
Yeah.
That's the if we're talking one days, that's the Adam Gilchrist, freaking Matty Hayden right there.
Yeah.
Like
May I
that
say, holy shit, you lost Talia so much doing that fucking bullshit.
I think we lost most like majority of our listeners.
You,
when I was
you
talking
lost me
about
when
it.
I was listening to it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All good, guys. Cricket season's coming up. You can get
It
educated.
is. Boxing Day, it's the one day I watch it.
Educate yourself. Love yourself. Alrighty. Should we get into the segments?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
have a go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's smash through it. All right, bring that music in, Bradley. We're playing We're doing Get Inked.
Get inked.
Alrighty. You boys know the show. We're making some tattoos from the lyrics. Lewis, you want to go first?
Sure.
Can we just
Alrighty.
say firstly that Lewis and I decided not to tell each other what our answers were for this, so it'd be
Oh,
We
sweet.
did.
nice.
We
Some
did.
kind
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool,
We went to
cool.
the pub the other night, and I was like kind of going, Brenda, I was like, what did you do? And he's like, maybe we shouldn't. And we're like, oh, we shouldn't. No, let's wait till the podcast. Let's make it special.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's what we do as well.
Yeah.
We always
Nice.
say, save it for
I
the
like
pod.
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to think of like actual good tattoos I'd want, but the tattoos I've come
Oh,
up,
no.
are appalling. They're awful.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, well,
That's good.
For idols, mine is so like a big. You know when you see like say a cartoonist on the street who's like going to do your like over exaggerated kind of portrait
Yeah.
type thing.
I think I know where this
So-
is going. Yeah.
So yeah, Joe
yeah.
Talbot's head and face like real big and like exuberant, and then that on Katy Perry's body,
Oh shit.
and then underneath it says "I kissed a boy and I liked it."
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
decent.
shit.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
I
nice.
like that.
bit of a
The beach ball and everything. Yeah.
beach ball and everything,
That's it, yeah.
like
Yeah, dog.
last
That's
Friday
brilliant.
night styles. So whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know
Nice.
the videos and
Last Friday
Katy
night.
Perry too well, but that's my idols one. And then God, my Viagra Boys one is terrible too. So I was thinking like rib piece kind of styles. So on one rib you've got a worm, and that wormy boy is taking a big old bite into your rib, and then on the other side of the rib there's a worm that's kind of coming out at you with its mouth extended like it's gonna bite you, and it's like same
bite?
ones that eat me will one day eat you too.
Hey.
Hey.
Right away.
Brilliant.
Hey,
They were good.
Yeah.
that was
I'll
I'll take it. I'm
A little
looking to
double
hear
rib
yours.
special. Brendo, what are yours?
Well, okay, I'll tell you my Viagra Boys one. I'll be honest. I didn't know I had to do one for idols as well. I've just been thinking
that's
about
all
one.
good.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's all good.
Okay, so mine's is based off the song Shrimp Shack from Viagra Boys.
Nice.
And what it is, it's a entire chest and stomach piece, and it's a huge tidal wave, and inside the barrel of that tidal wave is a surfboard with a shrimp and like a generic mum looking person on it too. And then on the foam of the tidal wave it reads I'm surfing with your mom. Because those are the lyrics, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Huge
Funniest
stomach
lyrics
piece.
ever
And,
as well.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good. I love that.
And if it has
So
to wrap
fun.
around a little bit to the under the, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, decent.
That's so good.
Body mural.
You didn't have one for idols, hey?
I can make one up.
All right,
it.
go
Let's
for
hear
it.
it.
Okay,
Off the
so
Thunderdome.
So my idea for the idols tattoo, it's gonna be the word GREAT written up my
Yeah,
written up my arm,
decent.
Yes.
and
I reckon.
and then
Pretty
and
good.
everyone will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You should have like the whole alphabet and then just those letters circled.
Or maybe I could have that other verse on this arm that's like the gibberish verse, and he's like, "Did I be da 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 boy la agree."
Oh, sorry, brother. That's off brutalism.
Oh, it is too, isn't it? Yeah.
Heavy.
I don't know if you boys know Date Night very well, but yeah, he did gibberish
Yeah.
for a line.
That's he's funny.
It was nice.
Yeah.
How'd you write that one out? All right, I'll go. My idols ones. I kind of had two, but this is like a quick one. I just think like the font on the title where it says "Joy," that would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
another actual shit one as per the show. So from Never Fight a Man with a Perm, the line Brill Cream, creatine, and a bag of Charlie Sheen.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's just like 3 sappy bags in a row, and the one on the left says Brill Cream, the one on the right says creatine, in the middle it just has Charlie Sheen's face on it.
Love it.
That,
Love it.
That would be like maybe like on the inner arm there.
Yeah.
And then for sports, sorry, for Viagra Boy, the song sports. Okay, so you know Buzz quiz, like Buzz on the PS2.
Oh yeah.
So like we'll do the Buzz sports quiz. You know when you get to like it's your turn to pick what question, and you like spin the board kind of thing, and then you click the button.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
it's
do.
just like a wheel. It's just like a big wheel, like a pie chart wheel, and all the different sections say the sports that he mentions in the song. So like
okay.
baseball, basketball, ping pong, rugby, skiing, surfing, beach ball, volleyball,
Better have a wiener dog.
wiener
Yeah,
dog.
wiener dog.
Wiener
Yeah,
dog.
it's gonna be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just
Oh, my favorite.
rules.
Big back tap. That's
Getting high in the morning, not answering calls.
Oh my god. I'll
so
go.
good.
Those
I'll
are
go.
sick. I love those.
That was really nice. Mine. I thought someone else would have chose this. Just the off the perm track. You look like a walking thyroid. You're not a man. You're a gland. I was just thinking like a big muscly gym junkie, but just doesn't have a head. It's just a big bulging like pop muscle or something. And his head, like you know that classic
That's what I
pose
was
that
gonna
they
do.
always do. Like it's like
I had that down
Okay, there you go.
as well.
That's
So I did think of that.
I thought a
So
good
maybe
one
some
would be
sort of-
Oh, man.
sausages on
Cartoon.
the side of your neck.
Sausage hands.
Yeah.
That's fair. And for Viagra Boys, I had the line is 49th annual Texas Dangle Brangle Club Show. You know those like you know those retro like Daytona NASCAR vintage T-shirts that you see all the cool people wearing. I was thinking this one of them. Do you guys remember? Do you remember the book Truck Dogs by any chance?
Yeah.
Can you remember Truck Dogs? You know Truck
Yeah,
Dogs?
I
It's like
do.
I can picture it.
yeah, or look it up in your spare time. For those who know, they
Wait, I
know.
might
I was
do
just thinking like, just like a classic like vintage Daytona NASCAR thing, but it's the 49th annual Texas Dangle Brangle Club Show with like a big truck dog on the front. But that's more of a t-shirt design than a tat.
Nice. Yeah.
So we'll do a
That's
t-shirt
alright.
design this week.
I like
You're
that.
up
So,
at
I
it.
like
the
that.
the
The
t-shirt
Facebook
designs
tag.
come in
Yeah.
a fair bit.
Oh yeah, I remember truck dogs.
Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
it's so good.
Adam, what are yours?
Mine for Viagra Boys was from, mine's pretty literal, but it's from the Best in Show, which I just found hilarious. The line, he is looking down upon planet Earth and urinating in the mouths of those who thought a canine would never walk upon the moon. And then goes on to explain that it's a Cocker Spaniel. So I just had like a little like cartoon Cocker Spaniel in like a astronaut helmet on the moon, just like with a leg up,
Yeah.
urinating onto the Earth. Maybe like a giant dog,
Whoa.
which is pretty shit, but
Back
there you
it.
go.
I actually
That's
like
sick.
that.
No.
Crap.
No.
And then
Why?
I had the same one for Idols, but I did have another idea, and I thought Will would do it, so that's why I didn't say it. But I'm like Stone's Cold Steve Austin. I throw homophobes in coffins.
I did
Yeah.
write
Maybe
that
just
lyric
like
down.
Yeah, maybe Stone Cold just throwing like
It should be a,
Tony Abbott in
a
a
coffin, and on the just a coffin shape, and it
Some-
says
some-
316 on it.
Yes.
yeah, that'd be pretty nice. I
Yeah, that would be
Really
dope.
nice.
It
Cool.
is a chess
There you
piece.
go.
Absolutely
Yeah.
nailed it.
Massive.
Let's do our absolutely flaming hot segment, the pitch. All right.
Get ready for
Relatively
some shit,
new segment, but honestly, I'm loving it. And I think the good people are too. So we're making movie plots, saying who stars in them from a song title. Who wants to go first?
Hey, I'll get mine out of the way.
Nice.
Okay, this is all I've got. I've got the pitch. It's like a movie. It's going to be called Sports.
Fuck, so's mine.
Yeah, and all I've got here it says Planet Earth. Once again, Planet Earth's always under attack. Man.
Right.
From a far away
Every
planet.
week.
Every week, just Planet Earth's under attack. I was just thinking the idea of sports, how there's no like pure goal, and I was thinking how like aliens would not be able to understand that. Like, why do we play sports? So I was thinking they would just be like looking from afar and just be like, we want to challenge you in sports, and that's like it. Maybe have
Once
Ricky
again, it
Ricky
sounds
Gervais.
like Space Jam.
Who would
Ricky
win
Gervais
at the
can
end?
come in.
Isn't that's Space Jam, isn't
Yeah,
it?
pretty much. Space
Oh
Jam.
shit!
But it's like
Planet
every
Earth is
sport.
under
Because I
attack.
watched that episode of SpongeBob where it's like the fry games or whatever. Like that, they have the Olympics. It's SpongeBob versus Patrick. If anyone knows.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking it like that, but they end up like hugging it out. So maybe the aliens can hug it out as well.
Nice.
Brilliant
So,
stuff,
yeah.
Brad. I'll go
Cheers,
next because
boys.
mine is also called Sports. All right, so check this out. Come on, check this out. All right, so Mindy Kaling stars
Oh,
as a
okay,
billionaire businesswoman
Hey.
who has made it big with her fashion and makeup line. But when her assistant accidentally purchases the Dallas Cowboys NFL team instead of the new fragrance upstart called Dallas Cowgirl, Mindy decides to throw all her eggs in one basket and lead a once glorified football team back to the top. However, when the Cowboys players and coaching staff are all struck down with the bubonic plague, which is set to keep them out of action for the season, no deaths occur. They're just really sick. Mindy has to build a roster and staff from scratch and will her newly formed club to glory. Also starring Mark Wahlberg, Taylor Lautner, Morgan Freeman, and Tom Brady.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
sports.
Good cast, man.
Starring
Good
Mindy
cast.
Kaling.
Yeah.
The Denver
I'm down with
Broncos.
it.
Sounds great. Oh,
The
what's
I'm
Denver
keen for that.
Broncos.
I'm keen for that this summer. I'll
I
tell
love
you
Yeah.
a bit of bubonic plague. Paramount will definitely go for it.
Yeah.
All right.
Brenda?
Mind if I jump
Yeah,
in?
you
Yeah,
go.
why not?
Alright.
You're
Yeah,
speaking.
I am too. Am I still doing it? Okay, so my movie idea was for the Viagra Boys song Amphetamine, and I decided to do it for this track because it's the only instrumental track on the album, and all the other songs have like really good stories in them. So I was like, they're movies on their own. I'm gonna do the instrumental track. So
Decent.
Amphetamine, which is a combination between amphetamines and anarchy, right? That's where the whole influence
Yep.
for the movie. Okay, so it's going to be like a train spotting-esque kind of style thing, and it's going to follow a group of just like kind of crackheads, and this one leader crackhead is going to run for president, and the movie's going to be following his presidential campaign, going through it, and then fuck it, he wins at the end and he becomes the president. Sure.
Amphetamine.
Dude.
The end.
Yes.
And
yes.
Fedonaki.
I
And
like
then, you
it.
know,
He unites all the crackheads.
sorry.
Like he unites all the crackheads, kind of, and they all like, yeah, I can root for this guy.
Well, it's an underdog story, Adam. It's an underdog story because you don't expect him
like-
to win.
It's
And
like
he's the
it's
underdog.
like Joker. Todd Phillips is gonna get behind that shit, bro.
Yeah. But I wrote down. This is kind of important to me too. It's gonna feel a bit like a Bill and Ted film too. So
Okay.
nice.
I like that. I like that.
Just the brothers.
I'm not the director,
Decent.
but that's just one of my prerequisites.
Yeah, I like
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Who's
it.
up?
Lewis, do you want to go with yours?
Yeah. I gotta think a little. Yeah. No. I've got something. So like, mine's going with idols. So like, never fight a man with a perm, but I've changed it a little bit so I can combine a little bit of both bands in it. So it's
Ooh.
the title of the film is called "Never Fight a Man with a Worm."
Okay, let's go.
And it stars Charlie Sheen as a rough and tumble, Street Fighter type kind of bloke, and he's fighting all of these real, like, hyper masculine, like, toxic sort of fellas trying to rough and tumble him right back. And so Charlie Sheen, buddy, in his coat pocket, has in there a little worm who's voiced by Michael Keaton. And it's sort of like a crime-fighting duo type film. Like, think 90s sort of tier, like, kind of street kind of film, I don't know. Like, it's definitely going to have the director of, like, either, I don't know, Face Off or Con Air. If that's not already the same director. Oh. And, essentially it's just...
a crime
classic
duo.
Batman and Robin, but it's Charlie Sheen and little worm Michael Keaton. So. And they're just, they're kicking some goddamn ass, let me tell you
that. That is really nice.
All right, I'm glad.
I would watch that.
I love that.
That'd be good, like, animated, maybe, too.
Yeah.
I think, let's say live action, and they really try and base it already off the appearance of Charlie Sheen and say Michael Keaton's head.
Yeah, I want to see a live action Michael Keaton worm. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want to see that.
Man. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Mine is also Never Fight a Man with a Perm.
Tight.
But I took a different direction. I thought that sounds like, all those Guy Ritchie movies with Jason Statham, like Snatch.
Yep.
Just all those tough guy English movies.
Transporter.
So
whatnot. Yeah.
it's one of those starring Jason Statham, who obviously he's bald, but he has a perm wig on him. And his name is Johnny Knuckleson.
Love it.
An ex-boxer turned debt collector for the mafia. After chasing down and confronting one of his targets, he finds himself falling for the target, which is played by William Dafoe.
Wait a minute.
And devises a plan to steal $3 million from the mafia together in an extremely intricate plan that involves plenty of guns, cars, and punching.
And is it like a lock, stock, and two smoking barrels kind of vibe? Man. I'm
Similar, pretty much exactly the same, but it's more of a love story between Jason Statham and William Dafoe. Also.
I love it.
Yeah.
Lock, stock, and two smoking perms, baby. Get ready.
That's perfect. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
That's great. Yeah.
It's right there.
Dafoe makes an appearance again.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, sick. Let's pick our favourite songs off the albums. That's right. We're doing the ad. All right.
Shit.
One song from each album. Adam, you can go first. What are you picking?
Okay, sir. For Idols, I'm gonna go with Rottweiler.
Oh, nice.
Tight. Very tight.
Weirdly, it wasn't my favorite when I first started listening to the album. Maybe because I've listened to all the other songs probably more than Rottweiler. So when I listened again over this last week, I was like, it was kind of fresher to me, I guess. Mm-hmm. But it's so bloody heavy. And when they played it live, I think they finished on Rottweiler.
They did. It was huge.
I think.
Yeah.
And it was just massive. It's so aggressive.
It's interesting. Rottweiler was from Brutalism days. They had that song and they were performing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then.
Yeah.
Way back then.
Yeah, I remember seeing some live gigs from back in the day and they used to finish on it then as well. But yeah, I had that one. And then for Viagra Boys, I had Worms.
Nice.
Just because as I said before, just made me feel very uneasy in a really good way. So yeah, there you go.
Win.
That's my two.
Very nice. What are yours, Lewis?
I have to go Samaritans by Idols just because of the importance of it. Yeah, I think it really addresses those issues very, very well. I think it, Yeah, I kind of spoke about it earlier, so I feel that it's just a fantastic song, just musically and then vocally, just brings it all together so beautifully. Very important song. So I have to go Samaritans, and then I don't know, Viagra Boys. I was probably going to go Worms too, because again, it's a heavy hitter.
Oh, you're allowed. That's fine.
No, I can't do that. No.
You're allowed to like what you like.
Yeah. No, I'll go Down in the Basement, because what a dirty fucking opener.
Yeah.
you can't. I don't know. Opening an album and then also having lyrics in it where it's like, and a live goat sitting on a
small table in the corner of the
middle
room.
Yeah, like come on, like Jesus Christ.
The visual.
It's such a dirty dance track about
how
a
you gonna
decrepit
explain
old whatever. Sorry,
How are you going to explain that?
I can't. Yeah. So quite simply, that's my pick.
How are you going to explain? Sorry, I'll stop singing lyrics.
Keep going, Brendo. What are your two songs?
For idols, it's Never Fight a Man with a Perm because
Yeah, it is.
you know,
Correct answer.
yeah, ding ding ding, and Viagra Boys is there's no right or wrong answers, guys. Come on, let's be real. But the Viagra Boys song is Shrimp Shack because that is such a funny track, man. And plus, like,
so funny.
when we saw Viagra Boys play live at the Oxford Arts same place as Idols as well.
Yeah, we saw them at the same. Yeah, a few months later.
They ended on Shrimp Shack and they played the outro for it. So how long does Shrimp Shack go for as a song? About 3-4 minutes.
5-6 minutes.
5-6 minutes.
It's still a long outro.
So it went for they played it for 27 minutes. Yeah,
that is not an exaggeration.
That's not a joke.
It was
It's
well
not
over
a joke.
20 minutes. They played that fucking song.
Was it like really nice though?
Well, there was times I'd look at Lewis and be like, I thought they went into a different song, but they're still playing the same fucking song.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it tripped me out.
Members started getting off stage, and then like the drummer's still just holding that goddamn beat.
Yeah,
and they're kind of almost looking at each other like, I don't know. But then like, cut to 10 minutes later, and then they just rip back into it like nothing even fucking happened.
That's awesome.
So nice.
That's
And
so good.
the crowd was kind of into it, I want to say.
I liked it, but I was
Every
really
time.
confused.
Yeah.
Loved it, but it was really, it was a bit polarizing.
And I think he was just like
It was
lying.
tight,
The
it was
singer was
tight.
just like lying down on the ground. It looked like he was dead or something.
He has.
I had the
goddamn
same
life.
two
He's
songs as you,
so
Brendo.
tough.
I had Never Fight a Man with a Perm. That song is a 10 out of 10. I reckon.
Dude, it
Absolutely,
really
it is.
changed the
Just like-
game.
Oh, it fucking oath it. Like that guitar riff at the start, and then I think before the second verse, when it's the guitar riff and then the bass and the drums. I don't know whether it's in the mix or whether he's just doing the drums. It sounds like it's going, and then it comes back in with the snare, and it's just like, fuck, I'm ready to do whatever you want right now.
And I never really thought of using guitars kind of like how Idols uses guitars before I kind of heard Never Fight a Man with a Perm. Because
they're very percussive.
yeah, and they're just like... They're
is
just doing
rip,
its own thing.
But like a different type of rip. Like it's weird. It's so good.
It's not
Yeah, I
shredding.
had Shrimp
It's
Shack
like-
as well. That jam at the end is like a bit mesmerizing.
yeah,
it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's really cool.
yeah.
Bradley?
I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Great, because just that hook, the
Yes.
chorus. I've had that
Nice,
stuck in
yeah.
my head all week.
Yeah,
And
fuck yeah.
at the gym at the gym all week. You already know that was the infinite
Yeah.
rap. That was the
That's
infinite
cool.
rap song.
He,
Right
he
there.
really taught me how to
Infinite
spell,
rap song.
that guy.
Yeah.
Mine was Never Fight a Man with a Perm.
That's it, yeah.
And for Viagra Boys, I'm gonna have the last song, the anthem. I can't even say it.
Amphetamaki.
Yeah,
Dude, how good is it when
like-
it goes into that like triplety thing with the hi-hats?
It's there. Yeah, exactly.
It hits so much
It's
harder. It's like just a slight, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Different.
Out of nowhere
Yeah,
as well.
beat.
It's so sick.
And then they
Dude,
start getting like some bongos
you
in
can
there and some
you would
shit.
be able to know when I'm listening to that song on the train because I'd just be like listening, and then
You
it'd be like
switch up.
shigadun, digadun, digadun.
Yeah.
Straight
I think I
up.
like Shrimp. I like them the best when they're like really like pushing the momentum, like with Shrimp Shack and Frog Strap and Amphetamaki, those deep cuts. Just
Yeah,
it's like
bro.
they could play all those tracks for like 27 minutes if they wanted to, and that'd be
Yeah.
so good. So yeah,
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
that's where I thought they were at. The
And they
best.
do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
dirty.
Turns out
do.
they do, which is
do.
that's always good to hear. Good to
I
know.
was there.
Hectic. All right, we got one more segment left. 2 truths and a lie. Now, who's up for this week?
It's me.
It's Bradley. All right,
Bradley.
rip in, mate.
Okay,
Big
this
bad
was kind
Brad.
of hard. I couldn't find too many like facts about either band. So take these for what you will.
They're all lies.
Here's the thing.
That'd be a
this.
game changer.
They're all lies. All right, number one. So there's 2 truths, one's a lie. We figure it out. Number one, sorry. The Viagra Boys had an idea for a beer that they could drink all day because it was only 1.1% alcohol. It was called Chicken Beer. Number 2. Sebastian Murphy, the singer of Viagra Boys, says he has no idea how he got his tattoo on his forehead. Number 3. Is it Joe Tabolt? Is it Tabolt or
Talbot.
Tobalt? Talbot.
Talbot.
Yeah, Joe Talbot said Idol's age is one of the biggest factors into why they're successful.
Alrighty.
Discuss.
Okay, it's okay. The culprit's in 1 or 2. I reckon.
Yeah.
That's what Brad wants us to think.
Yeah.
So, well, the problem with the problem with Viagra Boys is they're so crazy that, well, those things are crazy enough that they could be true or false because it's hard to tell with these guys.
I swear I've heard Joe Talbot say something along those lines before, but I can't be 100% sure.
What was the first one? The chicken beer.
That sounds weird,
Yeah.
man.
Chicken beer.
1.1%.
That's a bit.
I don't know about that.
That might be.
Brad
a bit
works
out
in a
there.
bar.
Might be too weird.
That's too
Like
crazy.
he's
that
around
it
beer
might
all
be true.
day. He's thinking, man, I wonder if you
Yeah.
could drink a beer all day.
Apparently, they said that it has like chicken stock in it and just like a bit of beer, and it's only going to be 1.1%, so you can just drink it and you like never get too pissed, even if you drunk like a case.
I hope
So-
I
I hope
hope
you
that's the
made that
truth,
up, eh?
man, because otherwise that you thought of that on your own.
No,
Don't
I
worry
hope
about
he
that.
made it
Pitch that
up.
to Murray's,
yes.
eh?
Yeah, I hope Brad
go.
made that up.
I'm worried about it.
Just a little insight
Can
to
I
his
hear
brain.
the third one again? What was the third
Yeah.
one?
Joe Table said that Idol's age is one of the biggest factors into why they're successful. I just cooked his name, didn't I?
Okay.
Yeah.
And the second one? Sorry, I have the memory of a goldfish.
Sebastian Murphy says he has no idea how he got his tattoo on his head.
All right, I don't know if this is in the spirit of this game. I know you guys are trying to figure it out. I'm just going to lock in number 2. B.
I'm gonna look in one. Number 1 is the liar.
I'm saying
Okay.
1 is the lie as well. The beer.
I think
Just because I want
I'm also-
I want you to say that you made it up.
Okay.
I reckon I'm going to go 2 as well, just because I think that Brad could have looked at a picture of them and seen a tattoo on the forehead and gone, yeah, that's something they would say.
Okay. All
So
locked in.
I'll say 2.
All locked in.
Yeah.
So, we'll get that one out of the way. Yeah, they did say that their age was one of the biggest factors about their
Alrighty.
motivation. That they didn't have to appeal to anyone. They just had to work hard and get it. The Viagra Boys did have an idea that it was going to be the chicken beer. So, yeah,
I knew
Sebastian
that one.
Murphy.
That was the one I knew.
Because I had no idea
Oh
about
my god.
doing a lie. So I saw the Viagra Boy's head, Sebastian's head. I was like, oh, done.
Hey.
Tattooed
Hey.
forehead.
Adam's logic was
Yeah.
like 100% on that one.
Yeah, yeah, you
know
got it.
Brad's
You
Yeah.
nailed that.
You nailed it.
Adam's the king of 2 truths and a lie.
He really is.
Good, very good. You are that. You definitely
I'm
nailed
a
it.
detective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bang. Well played.
Every week
by
he
all,
either gets it
except for-
right, or if he's up for it, he gooses us.
Oh, bit of
Simple as
goosery.
that.
Just
Mine's
a
sweet, though.
pathological lie.
You're up next week, I
Basically.
believe. So let's see how you go. All right,
Yeah.
segment's
luck.
donezo. Let's rate these albums out of 10. Now, Brad, did you have some ratings for us?
I'll just quickly get some up right now. We'll go out of
Classic.
10 worms. We'll do
Out of
worms.
10 worms
for
for
sure.
Viagra Boys.
And-
Decent.
Thanks.
My Spotify is
Oh,
looking at. Let's have a look.
Out of 10 fights you get in with men with perms.
yes. I hope
Yes,
it's that
we'll
one.
do.
Absolutely.
Probably
10,
that.
10 walking thyroid.
Oh,
That's better.
Might
that's all right.
have to do walking thyroids, boys.
Thyroids.
Yeah.
Out of 10 walking thyroids or worms. Who's
Alright.
kicking it off?
Nice.
Lewis, you can go first. We'll do one album at a time, so we'll do Idols first.
Okay, what was it? Walking thyroids? God, I've had to pee for like 20 minutes. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Let's
We're
do
nearly
it.
there.
Let's
We're
do it.
nearly
Let's
there.
go.
Walking.
We're almost there.
So thyroids or perms?
Walking thyroids.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
They're not stationary thyroids. They're moving around.
No.
Oh Jesus. Oh, this is. I want to give it a 10,
Do it.
but is any out? Oh.
Wait,
We've given
didn't you say
regularly.
before that you
Oh,
skip? There's a track that you don't.
Oh, yeah. If there's a
Yeah,
skip
well,
song.
that's the way I feel about it. Like, there's songs on this album that are definitely, I would say, 12 out of 10s. Like, there's
Oh,
so
good
many
point, though.
important songs that really, like, I think elevate beyond just the, I don't know, like, individually go beyond almost the album. But there's, looking at it as a whole, I don't know if I can, I think I'll have to go with a 9. I don't think I can go 10.
Thyroids.
Fair.
Looking at it like an album, like, I would love to. I love Idols. Maybe Ultra Mono, the new album, will be a 10, but
Jeez.
I don't know. Looking at it Yeah,
Critically.
does any album really? I don't know. It's hard to give an album a 10. That's
It's all right. You can give it a 9.
Personally,
I do it all the time.
Yeah,
I do it like every week.
I guess
Don't worry about
I guess that's like that makes me more of a wanker to be like I don't want.
There's no
I don't want to
there's
give an
no
album a 10.
Fantanos around here.
That's all right. Are you locking in 9?
I'm locking in 9. I think it's a 9. Yeah.
Lock
Although
it
I
in,
think
Eddie.
songs on it I think are like my most favorite songs ever written. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Cool. All right, Brendo.
Idols album. I'm gonna give a 8 walking thyroids.
8.
Bang.
Ah, 8.
All right, 8. Interesting.
Okey-dokey.
Would you like to expand on that 8?
Well, 10 out of 10. I'm not going to do that one. I always got to leave some potential for the future. I don't know what my ears haven't heard yet, but well, I might explain more once I've said the Viagra Boys one.
Okay.
Let's do that.
'Cause
Adam-
I'm kind of comparing them.
Adam, I'm excited to hear yours. What are you giving it?
It's a 10.
Yeah.
There it is.
Losers.
Big 1-0,
It's a bloody
baby.
10.
That's a 10.
You're all cowards.
That's a 10.
I remember when this album came out. I've never wet myself with excitement so
Yeah.
much.
Cream your Dax.
I reckon since
Dax are creamed.
I creamed my Dax when I heard this album. I reckon since I was a kid, when you're like a really young kid and every single band that's like, you just be like, oh my god, this band, the Beatles, this is like groundbreaking stuff. But I haven't really had that same feeling for like a new band coming out and being like, this is a classic album, like straight away. This is, well, at least for bands anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, this album definitely did do that for me. I just immediately thought this is super important, very original, and yeah, there you go. It's
Sweet.
a 10.
That's a 10.
Beautiful.
Another
I
10
love
from
it. I
Mr.
love it.
Lindsay. Brad?
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow Brendo. I'm gonna go 8 walking thyroids. I think I need to listen to Brutalism. I think because that might be the one for me. I want to hear him get like weirder. I think even weirder.
Yeah, I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of
So-
Brutalism too.
Yeah.
I will say I think Brutalism is a 10.
There you
Ooh,
go.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brutalism
well,
is a 10.
I should definitely have to hit this up because
Yeah.
I want to hear him go like even weirder, or maybe the next album's gonna get even crazier. Just musically, I think they're like they're all there like lyrically and what they're trying to do and say, but just the music side of things could get a bit weirder for me. So yeah, 8.
Decent.
Cool. I'm going
Sick.
9 walking thyroids.
Nice.
Mentioned it before, but you can just tell this album's important, and it's just there's so many different like aspects to it musically. Like it goes so hard, but then it's also like really nice at points, and the lyrics are just incredible. Maybe the best lyrics I've heard on an album, and the way he executes them as well makes a really big difference too. But yeah, it's like next level. It could have been a 10, maybe in like a week or two. So I'm gonna keep listening to this. I reckon. So good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 walking thyroids. All right, Brendo, you can kick it off for Viagra Boys Street Worms
Viagra-
out of 10 worms.
I give it 9 worms because this album
Interesting.
right? Because this album actually like really I listened to this and I was like, I get it. I get this is what I want to do as well. It really influenced me. I totally took I straight up copied all their like formulas for how they write their songs and stuff like that. It just inspired me so greatly that I went out and like started to do Paul Blart. So
Yeah.
you can't deny that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, for sure.
Lewis?
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. I haven't thought about ratings for these albums. I've just kind of been like, yes, they absolutely rule. I'm gonna have to say, it's a fucked up question. 8. I think I gotta go 8. It's 8, but it's close to 9 as well. Like, it's so brilliant. It's so authentic. It's very, I don't know. It stands on its own. It blends and combines so many awesome elements from, I don't know, say post-punk and like dance, and it's just a very bizarre and brilliant album.
a good word
I think
for it.
I think it kind of reinvented sort of, I don't know, like punk for this age. And I
huge.
I love it. Again, it's like what Brendo said, like it really ignited a spark for us musically and creatively to do Blart and stuff like that. And I think a big part of the band and how it kind of inspires that is to not overthink shit and not take yourself too seriously, which I think is such a great message right now. Like so many bands really take themselves really seriously and try and be cool or try to like play off a certain persona, whereas it's just sort of like, who gives a shit? Like, just have fun, like, you know, and just go with it, not overthink shit, and just simply do it. Just do. Yeah. Just simply
do the music.
And
keep it simple, stupid.
Sometimes it can feel like a pressure to be like, oh, I got to be a cool rock star kind of guy. Oh, you know, Like that seems like what so many bands and so many like, even in a small scale local scene, almost like concern about. Where I think you should just have fun and just be silly, be strange, or just be you.
Be yourself. Yeah, sure.
You're right, and it doesn't get much more that than Viagra Boys, does it?
That's it. They're like the complete ethos of that.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love it.
Adam?
Beautiful. I'm going to go 8 Worms as well. I really enjoyed this album. I hadn't listened to it all the way through. I'd only really listened to Sports. I think that was the only track I'd heard before. But yeah, as you said, it's super weird. I've never ever heard anything like this. I don't think. Like as an album as well. There's so many weird ideas on it that I really enjoyed. But I just think in comparison to Idols, it just hasn't had the same impact on me, probably, just yet. But that's probably only because I've just listened to it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'll give it an 8.
Fair enough. Bradley, the editor?
For sure. I'll say 8 Worms as well. I think Lewis hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, it's all about like super individualistic, and they're just doing them, and that's all you can ask for, really. We said it with Snail Mail a couple of weeks ago. Like she's just doing her. These guys are just doing them, and it's really refreshing.
They're aggressively doing them. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Times infinity.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'll go.
I say you guys put up in your Facebook like group that Snail Mail pristine Sims
funny
cover or Sims version of the song.
Sims version, yeah.
That's one of the best things I've ever fucking heard.
How weird is it?
It's so weird.
There's so many more of them than you would think.
What?
Like, there's so many big artists that have done it.
It's so strange.
But they have physically gone into a studio and sung in Simish.
It's awesome. Simish.
And no one really knows about it.
It'd be brilliant. Sims are paying you money to dick around in a studio.
It's a really weird thing.
That's an end.
They just release a soundtrack every year.
That's an end goal, to be in a band that does a version of a song in Simish.
Yeah.
Imagine that check from The Sims coming through for doing the voice recording for them.
I know.
I'd frame it.
This was a piss take, and I just got a big bag of cash.
All right,
I'm going to finish it off. I'm also going to back you up, a few of you, and go 8. 8 worms out of a potential 10 worms. Little colony of worms we got going there.
It's a lot of worms.
The album doesn't stop. It's just the bass and drums the whole way through, and that's what I love so much about it. It's just such a driving album. Yeah, it just keeps going, and there's like some crazy jams in there as well, and it's ridiculous, and it makes you laugh. And a lot of albums don't do that, and it does it in a really good way. Not like this is shithouse, but like these guys are really funny, and if you want a good laugh, you listen to this album. But in a good way.
The way he paints stories with those lyrics, man, crazy.
They're just ridiculous. That's it. Yeah. And we got actually kind of close, but I think on the polls we put up on our social pages, it was about 99% Idols to 1% Viagra Boy, and the 1% was Brendo. I haven't checked in a couple of hours. I'm pretty sure Brendan was the only one that voted for Viagra Boys. A lot of people probably didn't know who Viagra Boys are, to be honest. But
hey, that's why we do this.
It was so funny. Lewis messaged and was like, "Is it okay if I vote?" And I was like, "Brendan was the first one to vote."
Yeah. I was like, is this in the spirit of this podcast that, I can vote before I'm actually, rating the album?
Yeah. No, it's all good. But yeah, Idols gets 44 out of 50. Beats Street Worms with 41 out of 50.
Sorry, Brendo.
The Idols get the win. And the old 99% of people who voted agree. Sorry, Brendo.
Well, hopefully those people learned something new today, you know?
Yeah.
I sure hell
they
did.
should.
I'm
Yeah.
so
If you
glad
like
you brought
Idols,
these albums
I think
on.
you should like Viagra Boys, for sure.
Yeah. It was such a good week of listening.
Yeah.
It was very enjoyable.
Glad to hear that,
Yeah.
man.
Super rad albums.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on, boys.
Oh, yeah, no troubles. Thanks so much for having us, man. This has
Yeah,
been
really. Thank
ball
you so
of a
much
time.
again. Been
We
listening
appreciate it. We
since
appreciate it. It's
you know,
been very
doing
fun.
this. It's awesome. It's really cool.
Another
Is
couple.
this where you
another
get to
couple
tell us
good
what's
stats.
happening coming up?
We
Yeah.
do get to tell what's happening next week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a change in plans, but we'll hear the change in plans next week. So next week it's going to be just the three boys, the old trio. We're doing the battle of the 90s Britpop. We got
Hey.
Oasis, What's the Story, Morning Glory, against Blur's self-titled album.
Of course. That's awesome.
Yeah, it should be
Nice.
pretty sick, pretty
That's
dope.
hard. Really cool.
This will be very good.
You. King.
Yeah, that's it. We got next week Oasis and Blur. Hey, follow us on the socials at Record Royale. Join the Facebook group. Okay, what's it called? The Record Royale Epic Facebook group Royale on Facebook. It's a group
Oh, yeah.
Facebook group. Yeah, get in there. There's over 100 legends. We're posting shit in there each week. E.g. the Sims version of the Snail Mail song, which went
Hey.
off, and a couple of like little good vids that we've found. So yeah, join the group. Thank you so much to Brendo and Lewis. Listen to their bands, Blue Velvet, Paul Blart and the Blart Blats. Lewis, how do you pronounce? Is it Presque-Vu?
You nailed it.
Presque-Vu.
No.
Yeah, it's a,
Yeah, killing
it's
it.
a
They play in
difficult name
plethora
to
of
say.
awesome bands. Check them out. Follow us on the socials. We'll see you next week for Oasis and Blur. See you, everyone. Thank you guys
See you,
so
boys.
much. It's been
We'll see
a
you
very
sometime.
nice night.
Thanks for having us, boys.
That's it.
Farewell. See you later.